Hello everybody, this is Chromical018, and this is going to be my thoughts on Ouran High School Host Club Episode 3. I know it's been a while since I've done these, and I haven't been able to record anything for a while because, well, I wasn't able to do anything today because I've had to help with the boys, and I wasn't able to do anything yesterday because I had to help with the boys and I had to go to work. But tomorrow I hopefully will be able to get something done, because I do have to go to work, but that's later on in the day. Hopefully I can get some videos made. Maybe. Hang on. Anyway, this episode talks about the physical exams that the school does, and, you know, you would think that it's not anything different than, you know, physical exams at a regular school, except that, well, the school is rich, but yeah, that's what Haruhi originally, or that's what the twins said as they were heading to the physical exam. I was like, why should the physical exam be any different just because we're rich? I'm like, yeah, you would think that, but this school is not normal. Yeah, because it's got a freaking host club, for crying out loud. Anyway, the episode actually started out with them doing a flower viewing ceremony, I think. And we see a bit of where the club gets extra money from by Kyoya selling books of pictures of each of the hosts. Like, one picture book has Hikaru and Kaoru in it, one's got Mori and Honey, the other's got Kyoya and Tamaki, and the other's got Honey on it, and not Honey, Haruhi on it. I'm like, and I was kind of thinking the same thing as the twins, like, where did he get all the pictures from? What, did he sneak around and take pictures of people when they weren't even watching? That's creepy. And, yeah. That's part of the episode, and we actually see sorry, a bit of symbolism in this episode, like, because you see a kite flying outside the school, and it's supposed to represent Haruhi's opinion of Tamaki. If it's high up, her opinion of him is good. If it goes down, well, self-explanatory there. And Tamaki obviously gets a bit of an ego on himself as he's talking to Haruhi, and she doesn't really like that. And the twins actually just bust in and interrupt this talk between the two of them. Go away, stupid thing. Sorry. Sorry, I keep on getting desktop notifications, and then it comes up on my phone. Anyway, the twins interrupt and try and get Haruhi's attention away from Tamaki and onto themselves by asking her, you know, what kind of classes you want to take next semester, and they try and offer a few ideas. I think one of them was conversational French, but who would... Actually, that makes more sense now that I think about it, considering Tamaki is... if you don't want to hear this, skip ahead a few seconds. Tamaki is actually half French. Okay, now I can continue with the video. Anyway, oh, I'm sorry, I'm tired. I hardly got any sleep last night. Wyatt was kind of drifting between being awake and crying and going back to sleep, and I had to constantly tell him, go back to sleep, but I didn't get to go to sleep because of that until 2:30 in the morning. And I got woken up about almost 7 o'clock by Jackson, so yeah, not much sleep for me. Anyway, they actually reveal a twist, because it's not really a twist, because it's kind of common sense that Hikaru and Kaoru are in the same class as Haruhi because they're the same age and in the same year. Well, actually, not. It doesn't really have to matter with the same age, but the same year, so they're going to be possibly in the same class. And Tamaki doesn't really like that information, because he essentially concludes for the first time that because Hikaru and Kaoru are in the same class as Haruhi, they'll get to have more chances of spending time with her than he does at the club. And Kyoya's like, Tamaki, did you just realize this now? And it's like, yeah, how stupid are you? I mean, you knew that Hikaru and Kaoru were in the same class as her, so, or rather, you should have known that, considering you know, you like, you know, you kind of have a thing for Haruhi, so you would probably get that information. So how would you not figure that out? And then Kyoya starts drawing out a freaking graph showing like a percentage of how much time he gets to spend with her at the club and how much time the twins get to, and he starts freaking out saying he doesn't want to hear it, and he tries to get Haruhi to stop hanging out with the two. And he actually comes to the conclusion that they can't go around hiding that she's a girl, and that she needs to start being a girl again there instead of, you know, disguising herself as a boy. And then we come to the fantasies of Tamaki's mind. Essentially, her dressed as a girl and acting slightly out of character, I guess you could say. If you guys have seen the show, could you guys give me your insight on this and whether she was acting a little out of character? She was actually out of character at the end of the fantasy, but, you know, in the beginning of it, was she? Because I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. But yeah, she was definitely acting out of character at the end of the fantasy. And Honey brings up a very good point. If Haruhi starts dressing as a girl again, she can't be in the host club anymore, which would really reduce Tamaki's time with her. Especially since apparently, according to Kyoya's investigations, that apparently guys were quite fond of her when she was dressing as a girl, when she was actually dressing as her gender. And, well, apparently guys would declare their life for her, I think at least like once a month or something. Maybe more, maybe less, I can't remember. And, well, that kind of got to Tamaki. Oh, yeah. There was a bit of fourth wall breaking in this episode where Tamaki realizes that he and Haruhi are love interests and that everybody else is the homosexual supporting cast, as he put it. And that was when Haruhi brought up the point about Haruhi not being able to be in the host club. And, yeah. They all realize, yeah, they have to hide Haruhi's gender at the physical exams because, well, with physical exams, they're bound to notice something. Or rather, a couple of somethings during her physical exam if they were to go through with it. So yeah, they gotta figure out a way to hide her gender somehow. And I don't really see a way of hiding it, besides convincing someone to not speak of it, and doing it in private. That's the only way I could think of, because I think someone's going to notice something. Even if she has a small chest, it's still going to be noticeable. And anyway, this brings me back to when they're heading... Oh, God, what am I saying? I know why I'm tired. I'm sorry this video is so long. If you guys don't want to watch the whole thing, that's fine. I'd recommend watching this after you watch the reaction. You know, that way you guys won't be spoiled by anything that I talk about. And... oh, yeah. I was trying to remember everything that happened in the episode, because it's been a long time since I've done the reaction for it. And apparently Haruhi doesn't care either way whether she is recognized as a boy or a girl in this scenario, because either way it works out for her. And they gotta figure out some way to keep her motivated to actually want to stay in the host club, because apparently, according to her, she doesn't like the host club. Anyway, Mori gets the idea of using Fancy Tuna, because in the last episode, which they actually reference in the episode, which is another fourth wall breaking, or rather, that and more awareness, I guess, that she didn't get to try any in the last episode of the party. So they convince her to continue to hide her gender, and she'll get the chance to eat all sorts of yummy treats like that. And she agrees to it. Anyway, when they get to the room where the physical exams are going to be taking place, there's a whole line of doctors and nurses lining the walkway as they come in the room. So yeah, this is where essentially the difference between a physical exam for a regular school and a physical exam for a rich private school comes into play. And yeah, apparently this plan that Tamaki had to keep Haruhi's gender a secret involved Mori and Honey dressing as doctors. which ain't fooling anybody because all the girls are figuring that quite easily. You would think that though, if they can figure that out that quickly, why haven't they figured out that Haruhi is a girl? I'll have to wrap this up quick. Anyway, Hikaru and Kaoru do their chest measurements, and all the girls are freaking out, going gaga over it, while they do their act, obviously. And apparently, this is apparently a good way for them to get more exposure and get possibly more guests to come in for the host club, which I can understand that. Anyway, Tamaki has the most brilliant and yet most stupid idea I've ever seen to try and hide her. He tries to impersonate Haruhi, dressing as her. Like I said, the girls figure it out quite easily. And essentially, this whole plan of his to dress as Haruhi was made up by the twins to get back at him for calling them the homosexual supporting cast. And Haruhi is actually angry at Tamaki when he came back and tried to tell her it didn't work. And her opinion of him, aka the kite, goes down way low. And Kyoya actually reveals his actual plan to hide her gender the whole time. Because apparently all the doctors and nurses that are there are staffed at Kyoya's family's hospitals. So they have one on standby that's sworn to secrecy that will do the exam for her. And they actually say that it would have been nice if they had let them know about that. And Kyoya apparently said, I gotta get my revenge somehow. I'm sorry, but I'm not supporting cast, homosexual or otherwise. And that's actually his exact words on that. And apparently we get a bit of a side thing going on where apparently there's a pervert doctor running around, and last time I saw him, he was heading towards the special boys clinic, which is where Haruhi is, which prompts the others into action, though it's not really a pervert doctor, which, like I said, will be explained in a second. And they actually knock him into the wall. Quite literally, Tamaki kicks him into the wall. And the others show up, and the doctor explains that he's actually there looking for his daughter. His wife and daughter left him because apparently of some kind of, piling debts or whatever. And he tried to ask a girl, putting a hand on her shoulder, asking her, hey, have you seen my daughter? And she freaks out. So that's where that came from. And, well, Tamaki is getting really emotional about all this because the guy wants to find his daughter and try and make things right. And Tamaki offers to help him by getting, the maps of the schools in the area, which I don't think he really needs that. He probably just needs a map to Ouran Public High School because that's what he was essentially looking for. Because apparently due to all the debt, there's no way the daughter would have been able to get into Ouran Academy unless it was through a scholarship. And Haruhi has to try and tell them, you have to leave because I had to finish my exams, and Tamaki gets all emotional, tries to hug her, and, well, touchy by accident. Yeah. And the kite is seen just flowing all over the place. Anyway, that's about all I have to say for this episode. I really liked it because we got to see more of this whole thing. And I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. And I will see everybody next time.